Okay, guys, we're going to do a review that I was talking about in regards to the Kato versus the Bachmann turnouts here. And we'll start with the Bachmann one. As you can see, it's got the little switch here. You just move it alongside. It does all right. You know, I've used these. I keep getting derailment issues, you know, when it comes to the switch. And it's mostly because of the gap in between here. That's why I'm looking at the Kato here. That's why we're doing a review here to show you what I'm talking about. Kato one, you go ahead and you flip that switch. I mean, that thing just feels solid back there. Like there's something, you know, I don't know, it's just a solid feel right there. And you take a look at these two side by side, and you're gonna notice the size of the gap between them. And I'm just gonna take this tool right here. It's a Unitrack tool to remove the joiner down here at the bottom here. But basically, if you use to take that and stick it down in here in this gap, I mean, that thing, as you can see, it fits right in there, and it even got wiggle room. Over here, it won't even go down in there, so not so much. It's not even going to fit down in that hole right there. So that's the biggest problem right there with the Bachmann. It just doesn't have wide enough gap. And the other thing is that, like for the Kato, the unijoiner, that just basically just pops right off here. See? Pops right on off. Now with the Bachmann, you would have to cut that off and then cut off that little tab if you wanted to butt this up to this piece of track or to another piece of track that's not another Bachmann track. The other issue is putting the track together. I'm just doing this while holding the phone here while recording this, but okay. So let me hold that and try to get this in view here for you. So when you go to put these two together, they just don't slide in as easily as it does with the Kato. A lot of times I have to sit there and turn it on in. And then, like right here, it just doesn't meet up good. As you can see, it's kind of lipped a little bit. And the reason for that is it's just not down in there in the joiner. Then you got to play around with it to get it to go down in there. See if I can get it to go this time. Okay, yeah, now that time it went in there. But on the Kato track, you just pull it apart and slap it back in, no problems. No issues at all. I mean, it's solid. Now these things are pretty much designed, the Kato anyway, it's designed to come apart and be put together. I mean, it's a Japanese track, and it's meant to be, and you know, Japanese, they have small houses, small apartments, they just don't have a lot of room, so they have to be able to set up their track and then take it apart, and this thing is made to do exactly that, to take apart and put back together constantly. So it's made very well. The other part about it that I like is that it's got all these right here to where you could actually solder on feeder wires if you wanted to, or you can just, you know, use a feeder wire for a joiner, which they also sell. Bachmann track don't have that at the bottom of it. So the only choice that you would have in this matter would be to cut a hole in there if you wanted to solder some kind of feeder wire. Or you could even do it on the actual rail joiner itself, but then you would still have to put some sort of hole because, as you can see, there's no access to the joiner itself. So to set this up for DCC with running a bus, it's going to be a little bit tough. Where so for this, I mean, it's obviously, you can see, it's not going to be a big issue at all. So that's my opinion on the two. I prefer the Kato. And I'm switching out, you know, Bachmann track for Kato as I go along here. I'll probably end up still using some Bachmann track, probably for areas that I'm going to do like cement work, you know, because I'm not going to worry about getting it on the Bachmann track as much as I would worry about getting it on the Kato. So I'll probably end up using, because I got a lot of Bachmann tracks, I'll probably end up using it for that, but that's my opinion anyway in regards to the Kato. I do prefer the Kato over the Bachmann. Again, it's my opinion. You know, the Bachmann people out there might have a different opinion, but that's their opinion. This is mine. So, yep, I'm just going to use, you know, the Kato moving forward. And again, for me, it's going to be the best choice. But to each his own. All right, well, that's it for that review. You guys have a wonderful day, and remember, it's not a mountain if you don't climb it.